Alright, and here is now for the preview of Arcanum Unbounded. I am, of course, Midnight, and I'm here with Mythic
Hello.
and Darkness.
Hi.
So there's not really a proper back of the book to this, so I was going to first go over the names of all the stories we're going to read, and then I'm going to do the little preview. Basically, how this book works is they have what's called the system overview for each planet before they do the stories in that system. So I was going to do the first system overview as the preview for Arcanum Unbounded as a
Is
live
there any
read.
Warbreaker books, Warbreaker
There's
stories in
not.
this?
I'm really sad about it. There's no Warbreaker stories.
Oh, then I already don't want to read this book.
I'm not getting the book then.
Yeah, I know, right?
So the
I
stories we're
want
gonna
more
read.
information on Warbreaker shit, you know?
So the stories we're gonna read are Emperor's Soul, which is a short story set on Cell, although it's not related to Elantris. It's somewhere else in Cell.
Oh, this book. Oh my god.
I was like, who the fuck is Cell?
I was like, what the fuck is Elantris until I fucking remembered how boring that book was.
And then we get the short story called The Hope of Elantris, which is a very short story set just after Elantris. And then we get The 11th Metal, which is the prequel to Mistborn that I told you guys about.
That one first. My god.
So then you get Kelsier in his little journey with his mentor before he gets back to Luthadel. And then
More
we get
Kelsier.
Mistborn Secret History, which is a story set during all three books of the Mistborn trilogy. It spans all three of them. And then we get White Sand, which is set on Taldane, which is a new planet. It is a graphic novel excerpt, which also has a written description version. And then we get Shadows for Silence in the Forests of Hell, which is a story set on a new planet called Threnody. And then the final story is called Sixth of the Dusk, which is also set on a new planet called First of the Sun. So those are the stories we'll be reading Arcanum Bound. We will be skipping Alamancer Jack, because that is based on Mistborn Era 2, and we'll be skipping Edge Dancer, because that is a story from Stormlight Archive that we'll be reading later. We'll be reading both of those at a later date.
Hey, weird question, because this Edge Dancer shit kind of like gave me a flashback to that one dude who was using that. I forgot what it was. It was like a weapon, and he was like swinging it around, and he had like a subtle like sense of magic or whatever from Elantris.
Sorry.
Or was it just dancing? I don't know.
Sorry, what?
You know, like the dude that fuck, it's so hard to remember all these names. But he was known as like to know like a way of fighting that's like dancing or whatever.
Oh, I think his name started with a J.
I forgot, bro, but he's from Elantris.
Yeah, he's also from Elantris. He's from a different country, yeah, that accesses the door in
Yeah,
a different
do we ever
way.
get any information on that? And like his little dance shit?
So basically, we're gonna get a little bit of information here in the Cell System overview, and I can explain a little bit more about that during that in a moment. Also, each system overview has a picture of the solar system, so I'm gonna post the Cellish one in here for Mythic, because he won't be able to see it like Darkness can. So this is what the solar system of Cell looks like.
What is Cell?
Cell is the planet's name, where Elantris is.
Oh, the planet I don't give a shit about. Okay.
Yes, it is Cell. Alright, I'm gonna live
Where's
read.
Cell on this?
It's the second planet from the sun.
Oh, okay. For some reason, when you said Cell, I was thinking like, you know, CEL.
No, it's SEL.
Okay.
So that's a whole system dedicated to that one fucking like.
Yes, Scadrial also has its own solar system. Nalthis, which is where Warbreaker is, also has its own solar system.
See that one?
I don't know. Does Nalthis have a system, like a picture, considering it doesn't have...
Are they all formed similarly?
Also.
Oh, here we go. There is a Nalthis star chart. Here we go.
Also, why is this like... It begs the question that there's more to this. Like on the other, like the rest of the circle. Oh my god.
That's the Nalthis star system.
What?
A comet belt.
Is that what that says?
The very top, it says comet belt.
So it says the same thing on here too. Comet belt. Yeah.
What is that? That little cloud on the right.
Don't worry about it.
No.
What? Yeah, right? What?
It says cognitive anomaly. What world is this from?
This is Warbreakers.
This is Warbreakers.
No. Something
worry
aligns with that fucking planet. You see that
worry,
shit?
she says. Don't worry about it, she says. Uh-huh.
Alright, let me go into... I'm gonna live read the Cell
No,
system.
answer the question!
No, come on, don't be like that.
I can't without some more information about what it means by cognitive anomaly.
I'm searching this shit up.
No, you can't.
Right? I'm going to the fucking wiki for this shit right now.
No, you can't. All right.
I
No,
100% can.
no, you can't. The Cell system
doing it right now.
overview. You guys ready?
No. All right, Darkness. Tell me what it
No.
says when.
Central.
So
Can I fucking?
the cognitive anomaly
Mm-hmm.
is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
I'm gonna read this now. Central to this system is the planet of Cell, home to multiple empires that uniquely have remained somewhat ignorant of one another. It is a willful kind of ignorance, with each of the three great domains pretending the others are mere blips on the map, barely worth notice. The planet itself facilitates this, as it is larger than most, with its size at around 1.5 Cosmere standard, and the gravity at 1.2 Cosmere standard. Vast continents and sweeping oceans create a diverse landscape with an extreme amount of variation on this one planet. Here you will find both snow-covered plains and expansive deserts, a fact that I would have found remarkable upon my first visit had I not by then discovered that this was a natural state of many planets in the Cosmere. Cell is notable for being dishardic, one of the few planets in the Cosmere to attract two separate shards of Adonasium, Dominion and Devotion. These shards were extremely influential in the development of human societies on the planet, and most of their traditions and religions can be traced back to these two. Uniquely, the very languages and alphabets used today across the planet were directly influenced by the two shards. I believe that early on the shards took an unconcerned approach to humankind, and society was shaped by the slow, steady discovery of the powers that permeate the landscape. This is difficult to determine for certain now, however, as at some point in the distant past both Devotion and Dominion were destroyed. Their investiture, their power, was splintered, their minds ripped away, their souls sent into the beyond. I am uncertain whether their power was left to ravage the world untamed for a time, or was immediately contained. This all happened during the days of human prehistory on Cell. At this point, the bulk of the investiture that makes up the powers of Dominion and Devotion is trapped on the cognitive realm. Collectively, these powers, which have a polarized relationship, are called the Door. Forced together as they are, trapped and bursting to escape, they power the various forms of magic on Cell, which are multitude. Because the cognitive realm has distinct locations, unlike the spiritual realm, where most forms of investiture reside, magic on Cell is very dependent upon physical position. In addition, the rules of perception and intent are greatly magnified on Cell, to the point that language, or similar functions, directly shape the magic as it is pulled from the cognitive realm and put to use. This overlap between language, location, and magic on the planet has become so integral to the system that subtle changes in one can have profound effects on how the door is accessed. Indeed, I believe that the very landscape itself has become invested to the point that it has growing self-awareness, in a way unseen on other planets in the Cosmere. I do not know how this happened, or what the ramifications will be. I've begun to wonder if something greater is happening on Cell than we, at the universities of Silverlight, have guessed. Something with origins lost in time. Perhaps the Irie know more, but they are not speaking on the topic, and have repeatedly denied my requests for collaboration. Brief mention should be given to the entities known as the Seons and the Skays, splinters of self-aware investiture who have developed human-like mannerisms. I believe there is a link between them in the puzzle of Cell's nature. The rest of the system is of little relevance. Though there are a number of other planets, only one exists in a habitable zone, if barely. It is barren, inhospitable, and prone to terrible dust storms. Its proximity to the sun, MASH, makes it uncomfortably warm even for one who has spent a good portion of her life on the day side of Taldane. That is the system overview of Cell. Are you guys completely lost?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
how long
pretty
has it been since we read Elantris? Like fucking forever ago.
Well, I didn't just mean by how long it's been since you've read Elantris. I just meant in general by all the different terms you get in this.
That too. Yeah, that too. But I mean, it just sounds like it's gonna be another boring fucking thing because Elantris was boring as shit.
I will say, the first story here, called The Emperor's Soul, most people say is the best written story by Sanderson. I don't know if I personally agree, but most people consider it one of his best written works.
What does Jesus think though? Because Jesus is the real like.
I believe Jesus really likes Emperor's Soul.
I'm not just saying that just because like.
Yeah, all right.
You know.
What do you think about Emperor's Soul, Jesus? He said it's pretty good.
Pretty good. See, he didn't say he really enjoyed it.
So I have a lot of questions because we get a lot of fucking shit in this tiny little 2-page system overview. So first of all, we get told that there are 3 great nations on this planet that apparently barely talk to each other.
Shocker.
So, if you remember back in Elantris, I believe in their map, they have a thing that says like, oh yeah, past this area is like the like barbarians or something. We don't talk about
Yeah.
them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so that's the whole thing of like, oh yeah, they don't really take notice of the other nations. So they're not just barbarians out there. There's like at least there's like 2 other great nations who also ignore Elantris and everyone.
Which is where that fucking dancing magic shit is from, huh?
Yeah, so dancing magic
but
is not from the barbarians. They're from an area near
different.
Elantris. They're part of one of the great areas.
Oh,
So the magic that fuck, what's his name? Not Harathan, but there's the bone magic, the dancing magic, there's the Elantrian magic. Those are all from like the one area around Elantris. And then there's other completely different types of magic, which one of them is what we learn in the Emperor's Soul. Is a completely different magic, but technically also uses the same thing, the door. And
I
it's
see.
yeah, and it takes place in one of the other nations that just don't even look at Elantris ever. They're like, oh yeah, they're whatever. So what do you think about this whole thing of there are 2 shards of Adalnasium on Cell, Devotion and Dominion. And if you remember, they called God in Elantris Domi, which is short for Dominion.
So these are the gods of that world.
Yes. So if you kind of remember a bit from the Hero of Ages, Epigraphs, Sayes does mention the name Adalnasium, although he doesn't know exactly what it means. He just has heard this name called Adalnasium. And so this thing is saying that there are shards of Adalnasium, Devotion and Dominion.
That's interesting. What's Warbreaker's god?
Yeah, I was actually gonna give you, since we don't actually get a proper like story for Warbreaker, so we don't get the overview. Warbreaker's god is Endowment. Endowment, which is basically like means like gift, because everyone on Nalthis gets breath. They all get gifted magic, whereas in most other systems, you get it through various means, but not everyone has it.
Huh.
Yeah, the person who controls Endowment is named Edgley, and if you remember, the flowers that produce the intense dyes for Halandrin are called the Tears of Edgley. That's a little fun fact.
That's who that one dude heard. I don't remember who the fuck shit happened to anymore in that book.
It's
But
been so long.
the one that was drowning or whatever.
That was the guy that like when Nightblood is the guy to save him, the water.
No, the one that fucking fell off the boat.
Oh, Lightsong.
I think to save. I guess. You remember
Lightsong's
how
the one who drowns and then comes back as a returned.
Yeah. Because you remember how when that was happening and he was in the water, he heard like a voice or whatever.
Yes, so that was Edgley, aka Endowment, she's the one who brings back the returned.
It's a she. Okay.
Yes, Edgley is a she. So yeah, that is Warbreaker's god. There's only one on Warbreaker, unlike Scadrial and Cell, which have 2.
Which makes you think, what if instead of being at war with another god from the same planet, she's at war with another god from a different planet? That would have been cool though.
Is she, or is she just chilling by herself?
No, she's not chilling.
She's not chilling.
Her whole world is about war breaking, bro.
Breaking wars.
So also, what do you think about the fact that apparently Devotion and Minion have been splintered? That their basically minds have been ripped away, and it says that their souls were sent to the beyond.
Oh, not much of a god there, but okay.
So basically, it sounds like the powers were somehow like completely just like they're kind of destroyed, but also still there. So basically, they're the powers without minds.
Matter can't be destroyed, only recreated.
Oh, so I'm guessing it's like the opposite of Mistborn.
Yeah, so instead of someone else taking up the powers, basically they got fucked up, and there's no one controlling the powers. The powers are just there now, uncontrolled.
Mm-hmm.
You have any thoughts about that, Mythic?
Not really.
And then there's also, which I mean, kind of a little bit might relate Darkness to your question about that cognitive anomaly. It mentions that there's a place called the Cognitive Realm, which is where the powers of Devotion and Dominion are trapped, and that there's also. It also mentions how there are specific locations in the cognitive realm, unlike the spiritual realm, which is apparently where most investiture is held.
What world is that cloud in?
It's by Nalthis.
What book?
Warbreaker.
Okay. This was talking about Elantris specifically, right?
Yes, this was all about Cell, the planet where Elantris is.
So what if it's like that cloud is in every fucking like system?
Well, there's not one
But
in the
it's
Cell
not-
system.
No, but it's not like it's not necessarily in the same place. Because I'm thinking about this, like, what if this is like a Mount Olympus type of situation?
Mm.
But I don't know. That'd be cool in my opinion. I want a place where all the gods just gather, bro.
And then, what else was there about this? So they also, if you notice that this system overview is written from the point of view of someone in universe, and they mentioned that they spent most of their life on the day side of Taldane, and if you remember, I told you earlier that we do have a story set on Taldane, so we will get a Taldane system overview at some point. And also a little note is that technically all of the Ars Arcanum are written in character, and the person who writes these system overviews is the person who is writing the Ars Arcanums for all the different systems.
So it's the same person writing for all of this.
Yes.
It's Hoyd.
Yep.
You think it's Hoyd?
Hoyd.
They mentioned that they also mentioned the
Hoyd.
university is Silverlight.
Man,
I was thinking about that. I was like, what if it's just like Hoyd is a fucking scholar from like interdimensional like travels, bro. He's like visiting worlds and shit. He's like, so this is how this is done, you know.
So you also think it's Hoyd Mythic, you said?
What if it's like
Yeah.
one of Hoyd's like peers?
I didn't eat my ATM today, so.
I see. Do you guys like these little system overview things though about the planets? We're gonna get one for Scadrial. Once we finish the
Who the fuck is
cell
Scadrial?
stories. Scadrial is the planet where Mistborn is.
All right.
Are we gonna get that in like one of these charts, or
Yep, you get a chart for each system, and you get a little like 2-3 page.
when do I
So
get
who's
that
the god
chart?
of Ska?
You get that after we're done the 2 cell stories. Yeah, so you
Can I
get.
have it just? Why can't I just have it now? I want to know what the fucking planets look like.
Okay, I can give you the star charts. The star charts aren't really spoilers. I just won't give you the summary.
Wish I could fucking see any of this. Oh, I can see it when I put it in the browser. Okay. Oh wow, the comet belt's a lot closer. 2 dwarf planets. I don't know how to
What
say
the
either one of
fuck?
those fucking words. Old calendar and new calendar? What?
Well, yeah. So the old orbit is basically where the
where
planet
they
was
were at
during.
before. I
Yeah, where it's
gotcha.
closer to the sun, and it's during the first 3 books, and then the new orbit is where Sage put it back
New
to.
orbit.
Wait, so where was it?
Wow, it's closest.
Oh, I see.
No wonder it's red.
I want to
what-
see the fuck ups
okay.
though.
What are the symbols?
Those are some of the metal symbols. What one are they using? Is that steel?
Yeah, cause push and pull.
Yeah,
Yeah.
might be.
Well, that's what I would assume. But
Trying to see what ones. No, it's not. Okay, so the old orbit is steel, and the new orbit. What is the new orbit?
Is balance.
Mythic, you know what would be cool?
What?
If like, imagine if like an asteroid from a different fucking planet, like one of the aboves, came like down and like allowed them to realize that there's more metals than that they can use.
I cannot
even
tell
more
what the
than the
new
16.
orbit one is.
I could look it up, but you.
I can see it.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking sun. Kind of looks like the bottom half of a sun. Kind of like the rays are coming down.
It's
from
like
circle.
it has like 3 spikes at the bottom. There's a dot
Yeah.
on the top. It's like a C. Do we have the fucking picture of all the fucking symbols?
Well, the thing is, all the ones that have the symbols have the metals you guys don't know from Era 2. That's why I'm
What?
like, I don't want you to.
Well, you already told us about Electrum, so. I don't know.
Electrum that you know about now.
Yeah, but we
And the
didn't
other one.
before. Yeah.
I don't want.
Yeah, you already told about that one too.
I wonder if those are the ferrochemy symbols instead of the elements. Oh wait, what is this?
I'm gonna look at the fucking thing.
Can't look at
Alright,
it.
just go.
No, I'm gonna look at the end of the fucking book, see if I can find it there. Oh, they don't put it. That's us. No, they do put it.
So, because they also have they use the metals.
It's
also
this one.
alphabet. It's used for the symbol and. Oh wait, is it at that back of Hero of Aegis?
I think so. It kind of looks like that. Let me see. No, it's not. It's kind of similar though. Wait, that's telling me something. It kind of looks like the bottom right one.
No, that's not it. That's a different character.
Character?
Or symbol.
Like
That's
symbol.
the ATM symbol is the one you're looking at. I wonder if that's technically the Lerasium symbol. Not sure.
It's literally a mix between fucking the bottom right one and like the top right one. This one has like outer like lines though. I don't know if you see that.
Here, I can share this thing with you because they basically have it where it's like an alphabet, and the symbol that it is the and symbol apparently.
Yeah, it's that one. It counts as 2 characters,
Apparently.
which is what I said. It's a mix of. You know what, Midnight? We're fighting.
Yep, agree.
Oh my gosh.
Let's fight right now.
Anyways, so for next week, what you guys will be reading is the prologue through day 70 of Emperor's Soul, because the chapters are titled as days. So prologue through day 7 is what we will be reading.
That doesn't tell me like what pages.
It's like the same amount of pages as.
No, you gotta give me the exact like numbers.
Write
You can't
down
just be like,
exact
"I'll read
numbers.
this through this." Like, I want exact like page number, paragraph number, line number.
Oh my god. Anyway, so that's what you're going to be reading. So it's going to take us 2 weeks to read all of the Cell System stories. And then we'll be going on to Scadrial on the 3rd episode. I believe it's going to take us, is it three or four episodes to do Scadrial, because Mistborn's Secret History is quite long. And then we're going to do White Sand and Shadows for the Silence of Hell as one episode, and then Sixth of Dusk as its own episode. So it's just going to be 7 episodes of Arcanum Unbounded before we go into Stormlight Archive.
Okay.
So yeah, look forward to that, and we'll see you next week. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.